Lee Minho's net worth 2025 revealed. How rich is the Korean superstar? Have you ever wondered just how wealthy one of Korea's biggest Hallyu stars really is? From blockbuster dramas to luxury endorsements, Lee Minho has built an empire that goes far beyond the screen. But exactly how much has he earned? And what jaw-dropping assets does he own? Let's dive into the world of fame, fortune, and extravagant lifestyle with red carpet revealed. You won't believe what we've uncovered. The world of Korean entertainment has its fair share of icons, but few shine as brightly as Lee Minho, the Hallyu superstar, known for his captivating performances and undeniable charisma, has not only conquered the screen but also built an astonishing financial empire. The burning question remains, just how wealthy is he in 2025? Prepare to be stunned. For years, rumors have circulated about Lee Minho's immense fortune, but official financial estimates for 2025 place his net worth at a jaw-dropping $150 million. That's right, the "boys over flowers" and the king, eternal monarch, actor is now one of the richest celebrities in South Korea, standing shoulder to shoulder with K-pop moguls and top business tycoons. So, where does all this wealth come from? Let's break it down. Lee Minho's drama fees alone are enough to make anyone's head spin. In 2025, reports confirm that the actor commands a staggering $1.2 million per episode, an astronomical increase from his previous record-breaking fees. His latest drama, rumored to be a high-budget Netflix original, has secured him a $24 million payday for a single season. With K-dramas becoming global sensations, streaming platforms are fighting tooth and nail to have him headline their biggest projects. His popularity in international markets, especially in China, Japan, and Southeast Asia, has only supercharged his earnings. If you think his acting income is mind-blowing, wait until you hear about his endorsement deals. Lee Minho is the face of luxury, representing elite brands like Louis Vuitton, Rolex, and Hyundai's Genesis line. His endorsement contracts in 2025 alone are worth over $50 million. With a single campaign fetching him up to $10 million. With an unrivaled influence across Asia, brands are willing to pay an unbelievable premium just to have his name associated with their products. What does a superstar do with this kind of wealth? Invest in some of the most exclusive properties in Asia and beyond. His real estate empire is nothing short of extravagant. He owns a $15 million penthouse in Gangnam, an $8 million beachfront villa on Jeju Island, and a $20 million estate in Beverly Hills, California. His Los Angeles property is a stunning architectural masterpiece, nestled among Hollywood's elite, with a 10-car garage, personal theater, and a wine cellar holding rare vintages worth millions. A man of his status doesn't just drive any car, he collects them like rare art. His garage is worth over $5 million, boasting a Rolls-Royce Phantom, $500. Ferrari SF90 Stradale, $700. Bentley Mulsanne, $350. Mercedes Maybach GLS 600, $250, and the ultra-exclusive Aston Martin Valkyrie, $3 million. But Lee Minho isn't just an actor, he's a strategic entrepreneur. His investment portfolio is as impressive as his filmography, with assets spread across multiple industries. He has $10 million invested in tech startups, co-owns a $30 million K-beauty brand, and has launched his own entertainment production company, allowing him to have full creative control over his future projects. With his unstoppable rise in wealth, financial experts predict Lee Minho could surpass $250 million by the end of the decade, possibly even crossing into billionaire territory if his investments continue to thrive. What's next for the Korean superstar turned financial powerhouse? Will he break more records, expand his empire, or even venture into Hollywood on an even larger scale? One thing is for sure, Lee Minho is no longer just a celebrity. He's a global phenomenon with an empire to match. Stay tuned, because his journey is just getting started. Unlike many celebrities who publicize their charity work, Lee Minho rarely talks about his donations. However, a deep dive into his philanthropy reveals that he has been quietly funding numerous humanitarian projects worldwide. Reports estimate that over the past decade, Lee Minho has donated more than $20 million to various charities, and that number continues to rise in 2025. Some of his most notable contributions include $5 million to children's hospitals. His donations have helped build pediatric cancer centers and fund life-saving treatments for children in South Korea and Southeast Asia. $3 million for global disaster relief. He has supported relief efforts in Indonesia, the Philippines, and Turkey, aiding victims of earthquakes, floods, and other natural disasters. $2 million towards mental health awareness. Lee Minho has been a strong advocate for mental health support in South Korea, funding counseling programs for struggling youth and young actors facing extreme industry pressure. $1 million to endangered animal conservation, a passionate lover of nature. He has been a major backer of Korea's national wildlife protection programs, helping preserve endangered species. Promises, his own nonprofit organization. In 2014, Lee Minho quietly founded his own charity platform, Promises, aimed at supporting underprivileged communities, environmental causes, and healthcare initiatives. Unlike traditional celebrity charities that mainly serve as PR moves, Promises operates with minimal publicity, a reflection of Lee Minho's genuine desire to give rather than seek praise. Through this organization, he has personally overseen the construction of 5 schools in rural areas of Asia, providing education to thousands of children, scholarship programs for underprivileged students dreaming of entering the entertainment industry, large-scale tree planting projects across Korea, Thailand, and Malaysia to combat deforestation, changing lives. His personal acts of kindness. Beyond his public donations, Lee Minho has a history of making quiet, life-changing gestures for individuals in need, supporting struggling young actors. In an industry as competitive as Korean entertainment, many aspiring actors struggle financially. Several sources have reported that Lee Minho has personally helped fund acting classes, housing, and medical expenses for struggling young talents who couldn't afford to stay in the industry. One anonymous actor, now a rising K-drama star, shared in a recent interview, "There was a time I was on the verge of quitting. I couldn't afford rent, and I had no money for auditions. A guardian angel from the industry helped me. Later, I found out it was Lee Minho. He never asked for recognition, but I owe my career to his kindness." Helping fans in need. Lee Minho's generosity extends beyond fellow actors. He has quietly assisted his own fans facing hardships. In 2023, a devoted fan battling leukemia received an unexpected donation of $200 for her treatment. Sources later confirmed that Lee Minho was behind the contribution. In 2024, a young fan's dream to attend film school was fulfilled when an anonymous benefactor covered her full tuition. Months later, reports revealed it was Lee Minho's initiative. After hearing about a single mother struggling to raise her children due to financial hardships, he paid off her medical bills and provided housing support. These stories, though rarely publicized, have made him a beloved figure beyond the screen, earning him the nickname, the Guardian Angel of Hallyu. A billionaire in heart, not just in wealth. Unlike many celebrities who flaunt their wealth, Lee Minho has shown time and time again that his true fortune lies in the lives he has changed. Whether it's saving children, funding education, helping struggling actors, or personally assisting fans, his impact is immeasurable. With his wealth continuing to grow, experts predict he could donate over $50 million by 2030, solidifying his legacy not just as one of Korea's biggest stars but as one of its most influential philanthropists. So, while the world marvels at his luxurious homes, million-dollar cars, and record-breaking salaries, those who truly know him understand that his greatest riches lie in the kindness he shares with others. Lee Minho is not just a superstar, he is a silent force of change, proving that real wealth is measured not by what you have, but by what you give.